All right, guys, we'll go ahead and cap it off tonight with our usual look at the world of college football. Perhaps the biggest headline are games not being played, however. Three of the top five teams and six of the total top 25 teams have had games canceled. This includes Alabama, LSU, and Ohio State, Maryland. So, of the action we have number 2 Notre Dame taking on Boston College, who did give Clemson quite the scare. Number 9 Miami and number 10 Indiana take on conference foes. They try to at least keep their championship hopes alive. And there's a few other games going on, but overall, kind of a quiet week thanks to COVID. So, Drink, of the games we have, which ones are you looking forward to the most?
First of all, hey, I'm going to need you to correct this lead in. You got, but overall, sort of a quiet week. Change quiet with the word weak sauce, because that's what this is. This is weak sauce. This is wet bread. You ever try to eat a sandwich with wet bread? It don't work. That's what this schedule is this week due to COVID.
I'm just thinking back to the time like 2 months ago we would have watched literally anything at all, and now we're already like, these aren't good enough.
Hey, listen. Time move fast, all right?
Wait about that Wednesday back shit if we had to. It's just,
He said wet bread.
Yo, let me tell you something. You right, though. It was you right. Months ago, your boy would have been out here watching Canadian football. You right. Arena football or something. With that said, it's still a weak sauce that sketch. Now, so to talk about some of the games that we do have, listen, I'm going to be real with you here. You know I love myself some college football, but I'm going to be honest. There's on like 2-3 games I give a rip about. The one that I want to see the most that is crazy is Florida and Arkansas. I think that could possibly be the best game that's going to get played this weekend. Yeah, I know. Listen, you just had to sell us on Boston College. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's that bull. Because now Notre Dame beats Clemson. Boston College give Clemson a close game. And now this is like, we can sell this. We can definitely sell this. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I can see him losing Boston College. I can see it.
We can sell this. But yeah, Florida versus Arkansas. I will be watching the Vanderbilt versus Kentucky game. The only reason I'm watching that game is for the obvious reason. There ain't nothing else on. And then for the second reason, Alabama will be playing Kentucky here next week. So I get to see what we might go against, with Kentucky and all that. And then my third game, I'm sorry. I got thrown off. I was about to be like Ohio State and Maryland, but that game ain't happening either. So my third game though probably would be the Notre Dame and Boston College, because if Boston College get close, they might knock off Notre Dame, and then so much for the ACC. ACC will be in a tough spot unless COVID come and clean up the rest of the season. And before I get done, I want to say this. Come on, man. I hope this is not going to get worse than what it is now. Like, I don't want the kids to go out there and get sick and play sick or anything. Let me be clear. I'm just saying I hope the pandemic don't get worse for those guys than it's already getting with all these cancellations. If it does and you got to shut down football season, I perfectly understand. I will go cry in my room in the closet. But I understand. Safety comes first. So I want to make sure I say that. But, hey, listen, next week, hey, COVID, I need you to take some time off and go on leave because we need to see some more football. And that's all I got for college football today.
Yeah, change quiet to silent. No Bama, no Ohio State, no Clemson. That's tough because those coming into the year, those probably be 3 of your 4 that you might pencil in for the old playoff. Yeah, it's pretty thin. I mean, when we start mentioning Indiana, I think Indiana, the word Indiana debuted on the show last week when they beat Michigan. So, for what it's worth, they look pretty good. I mean, their quarterback Michael Penix, he showed me something last week against Michigan. He was carving up that the Michigan secondary. Don Brown was looking quite concerned, didn't know quite what to do. You got to think they got a real good chance of moving up to 4-0 against Michigan State. But all in all, there's not a lot really to chew on. I mean, I guess we can maybe tease ourselves into saying, oh, Miami, maybe they keep their ACC championship hopes alive. They go in there and beat Virginia Tech.
Notre Dame loses.
Notre Dame. Yeah, true. I mean, Boston College, Notre Dame. I don't know. I think I agree. I think I do agree with Drink about Florida, Arkansas. don't forget, this is I know we overuse this, but the old revenge game. We got Felipe coming back in there, Felipe Franks and Kyle Trask. So we'll see how that goes. I think Florida's in a great position. I think they're very satisfied with what they have right now. Even though Felipe Franks, if you look at it, he's played a good season so far. Arkansas at 3-3. You got to believe they're satisfied with that. They've been bottom of the barrel for a while now in the SEC West. But then, maybe we have to pay just a brief bit of attention to the Pac-12. Maybe we'll see what Oregon and Southern California can do. As the rankings show us, those we believe are the best two teams out there. But all in all, it's pretty thin. We need to go ahead and fast forward to next week. It looked like.
Yeah, y'all pretty much hit it on the head. I think there's a couple interesting things. Miami being an underdog to Virginia Tech was really surprising. I don't know who wrote those odds, but I don't know. Not really seeing that there. But you've got. I think USC. It'd be nice to see them get back into things. Another good win because that's a program that's been gone for a while. I mean, they have been off the radar for a long time now, and it sucks. That's one of your big blue bloods of college football that have been missing, and it's just more fun when teams like that are actually good, and they haven't been for a while. The Felipe Franks thing is really interesting. Dan Mullen this week, he actually said that Franks had kind of turned the program around in a lot of ways before he left, and basically it came down to, hey man, we don't have a spot for you anymore. You're gonna have to go ahead. We're going to find you somewhere else to go. And he goes to an Arkansas team that just fired their coach, hadn't won a game in the SEC since the dawn of sliced white bread that drinks bacon sandwiches with. And then they win 3 games. They got 3 wins in the SEC. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and then they beat Tennessee. They gave A&M quite the push too. So he's been playing a lot better. You got to think he's a guy that could be coming up some draft boards. Maybe he sticks around another year. Maybe he doesn't. But that's been a nice story to see. And Oregon, obviously, they can get their stuff together. And I think what's another thing we're going to have to look for, we talked about this a little bit in the pre-show, some of these cancellations, we're looking at some issues coming up. If this keeps up and we keep getting all these cancellations, you're going to start having teams conferences get real creative. Because like told you, Ohio State, they're missing Maryland this weekend. They miss one more game, they're in danger of not having enough games to play. The Big Ten doesn't have that luxury of cramming games on to the end of the season like the SEC kind of has. And some of their conferences kind of left open because they started so late. So the Big Ten is going to do everything they can to get Ohio State in. And I could be wrong on this, but I think this Oregon State-Washington game only happened because 2 other games got canceled, and then they just got thrown in to play at the last minute. So you might start seeing more of that. Like, hey, y'all got canceled and you got canceled. Hey, well, you two want to play each other since you got teams and these 2 don't. You're going to start seeing some really creative out there sort of scheduling, I think, as we go forward if this keeps up, because it appears with national numbers coming back up, this is going to continue to impact college football as well. And the playoff might have to be moved. There's a lot of implications down the line. But, let's hope we go ahead and get this week over with and get on the next week where hopefully get some more action.